I read a book recently, well, not really, I just read the back of it. It basically said that there was this study taken where American and Japanese people had to look at this underwater scene where there's big fish and small fish and all this kind of underwater scenery there behind them. What they found out is that the Americans tended to focus on the big fish, whereas the Japanese would look at the smaller fish and also the big fish and in relation to the background. And that made me think. You need to think about more things when it comes to making Bokehlicious photos.
Bokeh is a Japanese word that means blur, although it can be used to refer to someone as stupid. It has been widely adopted by photography peeps to refer to the aesthetic quality of the out-of-focus elements.
Buying expensive gear might get you good bokeh, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you've used the blurry bits well in your picture.
You don't need the most expensive lens, just something that doesn't have poo-inducingly bad bokeh. So how to take Bokehlicious photos, a good photo with bokeh. We have KX to help illustrate how it's best not to do it, by using something Japanese as a subject. Some people think about just getting the most blur by having a subject that's close and all of the background really far away.
What kind of fish is this? Flying fish.
There's no sense of depth if there's nothing between the deepest part and the stuff close to you.
Sashimi.
Why not lead the eye gradually towards the plunge into the Bokeh abyss, like this? Or like this. LOL. Well, photos without sense of depth can work, like this. Wildlife photos and portraits. Not like that. The subject and the background. You might think that looking through the viewfinder is your best way of seeing what the blurry bits will look like, but the truth is that most DSLR standard focusing screens won't let you see what it looks like at f1.4, f1.8. Don't rely on this for accurate bokeh rendering. If you really need to know exactly what you're going to get, use live view, or get used to interpreting what you see and knowing how that translates into the final image. It's useful to look at the scene when everything is in focus because when you're looking at preview of the scene with things already blurred, your eye naturally leads to the thing in focus, so it's easy to overlook the background, which is equally as important as the subject.
Trees. Water.
With a Leica M, you don't really have a choice but to look at everything in focus. It can be a good thing. Bokeh isn't some magic spell that makes backgrounds better. A cluttered background is still a cluttered background when it's blurred. Or you might have distracting colours.
Back to nature. That's some salmon swimming upstream.
Bright, shiny things. Or even just a line that goes across the frame. You can improve it even just by composing it differently. But the background shouldn't be much more attractive than the subject. Otherwise, why focus on the subject? You can still have interesting backgrounds, but it's all about the right balance. To integrate bokeh in a photo, to get a Bokehlicious photo, is not just as simple as choosing f1.4. One has to appreciate the relationship of the background to the subject, but also how something may look, even when it is thrown completely out of focus.